Hiring non-licensed people in your salon is a good thing. Let's talk about it. This is an ongoing debate, and I think it's being debated in the wrong way. I think many of us have chosen sides, almost like Republicans and Democrats, on whose side are we on as it relates to licensed stylists and unlicensed stylists. And a lot of times we want to get in the conversation as far as unlicensed stylists, and we go to bashing bloggers and vloggers and YouTube personalities and people doing hair out of the house and that whole thing, right? And people that dropped out of beauty school and are doing hair, freelance and this kind of deal. And honestly, I never really get into that conversation, man. People have tried to corner me at events and at workshops to say, well, what's your stance on non-licensed stylists? As if, because I'm a stylist and because I'm an educator and a salon owner, which I really want to stress, right? So I'm supposed to say that I hate bloggers and I hate vloggers and I hate people doing hair out the house and they should all just leave the game. And I say none of those things. Number one, I'm a vlogger. Number one, I'm a blogger, right? And number two, I know talent when I see it, and I'm not really even getting caught up in that world. Should we be licensed in order to run businesses? Yes. Should we be licensed if we're running a suite or an individual chair? That's what the state requires. That's how it should be, as far as legality. But I think the conversation as far as what do you feel about non-licensed people working in a salon? I want to open your mind and kind of have a play on words, as it were. You really need to get involved with non-licensed people in your business in 2016 as we go into 2017. Guys, this is not 1999. We've got to really wake up and understand that when you take on the role of salon owner, you're in a whole different league. It's a whole different ball game. You got to open up your mind and run a business first and a salon second. Let me say it again. Run a business first and a salon second. But the problem, I know the problem. The problem is nearly every salon is being ran by a hairdresser. Somebody say, isn't that how it's supposed to be? No. Once you take on the role of running a salon, a full-on salon with a staff, and I know in a suite environment, not knocking the suite at all, but oftentimes the stylist does not have to transition over into thinking like a salon owner. Even though they are a salon suite owner, they oftentimes are working by themselves. They oftentimes are working without a staff. Many times without even an assistant, so they don't have to leave the booth rent mentality in order to get their four walls, put a sign out front, name it something and keep it going. They don't have to change their mind. But when you run a staff, right, when you're running a full-on salon that you want leverage and you want scale, guys, we got to think a lot differently. And you have to, as soon as you can, hopefully before you sign the lease, hopefully before you buy the new business card, hopefully before you spend all this money on your decor in the salon, wake up to the idea that you're no longer just a hairdresser. You're a business owner. You're a salon owner, and there are positions in your business that have nothing to do with having a license, and you got to understand that, and you got to place them in the business and not try to let the first person be a hairdresser. As a matter of fact, I think these 5 positions that I'm about to run to you need to be in place before you hire your first licensed hairdresser. Let me say it again. These 5 positions I'm about to run in front of you do not need to have a hair background, do not need to have a license, do not need to be a certain age, and need to be in place before you hire the first stylist. But of course, if we open the salon thinking like a hairdresser, right? So the first person we'll hire is a hairdresser. When in actuality, if you think like a business owner, you got to get 4 out of these 5 positions in place before you start. First, the first position that has nothing to do with hair, you need a manager. You need a salon manager, somebody that is separate from the styling team, somebody that does not do hair, somebody that wears a tie or a blazer or heels if it's a girl or female, that can run your business from a managerial standpoint. Systems, sales goals, retail, payroll, standards, compliance lists. You need a separate person oftentimes from the salon owner, because 9 out of 10 times the salon owner is still caught up in being a creative and being an artist. So you need a stylist, you need a manager, not a stylist, to run the styling team. Now, sometimes people don't want to do that because how do you pay a manager if they're not doing hair? How do you pay anybody if they're not doing hair? Again, that's a stylist mentality opening up a business. That's a stylist mentality opening up a salon that believes that they want to only have people that generate money in order to pay them. Guys, you're going to have a business running that can pay people not predicated upon the talents or special skills of a hairdresser coming out of school or from another salon. Second position, guys, you need a strong receptionist or front desk or salon coordinator in your business that can run your business from a sales standpoint. Guys, you have booking, gift cards, retail, apparel, products, tools that are going to be moved from the business from somebody at a desk that's in front of a computer, that's in front of an online booking system, that's in front of computer software. Guys, they don't have to have a hair background. As a matter of fact, they need a sales background. As a matter of fact, they need a people background. And they don't need to be a certain age either. Some of my best receptionists were in their 20s. One of them was in their teens that understand the system that I created for them that you need to create as a salon owner in your business. So that's the second position, manager and receptionist that are non-licensed that you need in your business. Number 3, you need a real salon assistant, somebody that takes care of servicing the guests, taking care of the true product that you sell, which is your service, somebody that helps you maintain the cleanliness of the salon, so that helps with the flow. Oftentimes we call this shampoo boy, shampoo girl, but I like the word salon assistant because they have more duties than just the shampoo assistant or just the shampoo area or the lather lounge or the wash house. They need to help the entire salon run, not committed to any clientele in particular stream of their own. They need to be the runner of the salon, errands, lunch, cleaning the salon, servicing the guests, taking down rods, handing foils, shampooing, draping, parting. They don't have to have a hair background at all. They definitely need to have no license to be in the business. Now you got a 3-person team plus the owner, and you only got 1 license, and you only need 1 license. Number 4, you need somebody in between the assistant, in my opinion, and the lead stylist, right? The namesake of the salon. You need a junior stylist that can do everything else but chemical, everything else but cutting, everything else but major color. Guys, there's a lot of services that can be done. Check your local cosmetology state boards in your state. Find out how far you can push an assistant, because that position oftentimes is somebody in your clientele. Oftentimes it's somebody that you know that's working at the mall, and you can literally be like, yo, how much they paying you at the mall? $200? Yo, I'm gonna give you $250 plus tips. Come follow me and let's take over this city. Let's take over the world. Yo, what are you doing at that sales job? How much they giving you? All right, I'm gonna give you $50, $75 more. Come follow me, right? And come help me with this sales position, because that's what the receptionist is in sales. So now you have a receptionist, a salon manager, a salon assistant, right? And you have a junior stylist that's almost like your clone that really doesn't have to have a hair background. You can train this stuff, guys. Come on now, you can train this stuff. Everybody want to be an educator, right? Why don't you train your staff, right? Instead of always trying to flex online. Guys, let's train your team. Let's start at home, guys. Let's save ourselves first before we go out and save the world. And I'm a firm believer in that. Number 5, check your rules in your state for apprenticing. Right, guys, we really run from that, and I don't understand it. And in other cultures, especially European cultures, that's how they build their teams. That's how they build their salons. That's how they build scale and franchises, is they train the people from scratch and let the people get their license and get their accreditation through the salon. Your license without an instructor's license, let me be very clear. I have an apprentice and I don't have an instructor's license, right? I'm an educator, but I'm an educator through life. I'm an educator through experience. I didn't necessarily go to school to be an educator in cosmetology. I don't think the education I do doesn't always require that. Shout out to everybody that does have a cosmetology educator's license. But any master license in most states, I know in the state of Georgia, you can apprentice. Now you can only apprentice 1 at a time, but you can get somebody literally off the street, sending their paperwork to the state board, and now they go to school in your salon. You can plant and grow them in your business, unlike grafting in somebody, from another salon, from another state, or from out of school. You can train the person from scratch. Now, if you don't want to train, none of what I'm saying right now makes sense. If you don't want to train a manager, you can want to just click out the video right now. If you don't want to train an assistant, this ain't gonna make no sense to you. If you don't want to train a junior stylist, you be like, man, I don't hear none of that. And if you don't want to put your license on the line to apprentice somebody because you're afraid that they might leave, you're afraid they might take the ideas and go around the corner, guys, you got to build your business. And if we have to depend on only the schools in our area, some of us only have one cosmetology school in our area. Some of us only have 2 or 3, and they're not always solid. Some of us don't have these elite cosmetology schools in our area. I don't. I'm keeping it all the way real. I don't have what you would consider the upper echelons of Cosmo schools in our area, right? So I got to build my business in a new way. I'm telling you, in 2016, as you go to 2017, open up your mind, guys. So non-licensed people in your business is a good thing if you want to build a solid business. And that system I just ran, guys, you don't have to be there every day. You don't have to do 20 people a day. This thing can run with or without you, and those are the kind of businesses that we want to run. Think about it. Salon owners, you'll feel me. Others may not because they're thinking only like a hairdresser. But if you're a salon owner, you're a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. Let's start acting like it, guys. Better hairdressers, better salons, better lives. Torgano Education. I'm out.